Hi guys, Dan from onlinebasscourses.com, and in this video I want to just explain a bit about reading rhythms on the bass. I don't happen to think that it's absolutely essential to learn to read music on the bass, even though I love doing it and I do it a lot in a professional capacity, and I think you can gain a lot from it. Some of the best musicians don't know how to read music, so I don't think it's essential, but I think that since we're very involved in the groove and in making rhythms, I do think it's good to be able to study it. And it's not too difficult to learn to read these funny blobs. Okay, so we'll go through a few of the most common ones, and I'll put a link below the video of where you can download this PDF. There's a couple of lines at the bottom that you can put it all into practice. But we have what we call whole notes at the top here, and all it is, and we'll do all these examples on the note E, the E string here. It's just where you play one note and it lasts for 4 beats. Okay, so you go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's just one blob, 4 beats. So you got 2 there, you got 2 bars there. You can't see this, but I'm tapping my foot, and that's an absolutely essential thing to be able to do as a bass player. I distinctly remember years and years ago when I was starting bass, not being able to tap my foot at all. But since you're going to be playing all these beats in some sort of a time, if you have a reference point, then it's much easier to place the notes exactly where you want them to. So practice tapping your foot as you go. So next we have half notes. Each one lasts for half of a bar. So 2 counts each, 2 beats each. And then 2 bars of that. Now it's pretty simple maths. A whole note lasts for a whole of the bar, half note lasts for half of a bar, then we have a quarter of a note, quarter note as it's called, which lasts for a quarter of a bar. Now here in the UK we call them semi-breves, minims and crotchets, and that's how I grew up learning to name them. It doesn't make any sense, but the American, and I guess everywhere else in the world, calls them whole notes, half notes, quarter notes, so that's what I'll stick to and that's what makes sense. So quarter notes. 4 in a bar. And that's your 2 bars. Even practicing that, just make sure you keep them all nice and even. And with 8th notes, which is the next one, you'll hear this a lot in rock music, they're actually deceptively difficult to play, because to play them bang in time and evenly, and this is where you might think about getting a metronome, it's quite tough to do that. So if you get a metronome clicking on, nice, steady 100 BPM or whatever you're comfortable with, in every beat you have 2 8th notes, and in every bar you have 8. Okay, so every time I'm tapping my foot, I want to be hearing 2 8th notes. So. Okay, that's what I want to be hearing. And really learning to play those steadily is very important. And you can see how it looks like a quarter note, except you've got the beam over the top. So that's how you can differentiate them. The whole note at the top is just one blob that's not coloured in. The half note looks a bit like the whole note, except it's got a stalk, stem coming up from it. And the quarter note looks the same as that, but it's coloured in. So, you can very quickly visualize these notes if you put in a little bit of practice. Then lastly, we got 16th notes. There are other rhythms, but this is just to start with. We've got 16th notes where you have 4 in every beat and 16 in every bar. So I'll keep going about this speed. Obviously this is a bit quicker to play, so your fingers have to be a bit quicker for this. You can see my head bobbing there. Every time a beat goes by, I want to be hearing 4 of those, okay? And it does develop your sense of rhythm by knowing how to read these rhythms. So there are 2 lines at the bottom here that you can practice putting these into practice. Now, I didn't mention actually the rests, which follow on from the notes. So it's just the equivalent to the note length, except a rest means you just don't play, okay? So learning those is important as well. Now, the real point here is just if you can keep your foot tapping, keep your sense of timing going, and you follow it across, it becomes much easier. So download that PDF and have a go at memorizing all those rhythms, all the rests, and then learn how to play them along with the metronome, if possible, with your foot tapping along. And have a go at the little 2 examples at the bottom and see how you get on. It's not too bad with a bit of practice. And then from there, you'd probably want to learn a few of the notes on the stave, and I've got a video showing exactly how to do that. But reading music is a bit of a dying art because you've got YouTube and many tab sites that just tell you how to do things. But with a little bit of practice, it's not actually too difficult. And one great thing about reading music is that you can then teach yourself loads of things from books and music that you can find wherever you can find it. It's a really, really great thing to be able to do. But start simple with this and see how you get on.